Okay, guys. What is up, guys? It's your boy KP, also known as Shavante, and we're back with another YouTube video. Today, guys, I'm gonna tell you what this video is gonna be about. This video is going to be about, like, you guys know what you guys watch Corey Kenshin, right? And you know about Spooky Scary Sunday. So that's what I'm going to be doing every Sunday. I mean, every Sunday. So I'm going to be watching some llama arts. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing it like with Corey Kenshin because you guys already probably watched all of his Spooky Scary Sunday. So I'm gonna be making my own Spooky Scary Sunday. So let's get right into the video. So llama arts.
Thanks to XP Pen for sponsoring this video. More details at the end. A cool breeze crept through the valley outside of Telluride, Colorado, as my friends and I unloaded the truck parked on the dirt driveway. We had recently started renting an old mining house built in the early 1900s. Most of the home had been renovated over the years.
Okay.
There were still glimpses of what the house used to be. The exterior of the home was painted a bright yellow and adorned a blood-red door. The yard was abundant, with lush green grass, minus the few brown patches that littered the ground. In the corner of the yard sat a dilapidated gazebo, filled to the brim with landscaping equipment. I stood facing the house, admiring the quaint ambiance it seemed to exude. I felt something hit my back and spun around. My brother, William, was standing behind me with a box under his right arm. "Let's pick up the pace. We don't have all day," he said, with a little annoyance masked in his voice.
Bro, don't rush me.
I responded, and
Yo,
started
you should have been
walking to
like,
the
don't
back of the
rush me,
truck.
bro.
My other two friends, Elijah and Leon, were in the process of stacking some boxes on a dolly.
Okay, how nice
"Hey
of
man,
them.
take this to my room," Elijah said, as he handed me a large box. I resituated it in my arms and gripped it. As I did so, I could hear glass clanging inside, and a strong, familiar odor starting to leak out.
Ooh.
"Hey man, be careful," Elijah snapped. "If you ever want to smoke again, I'd highly advise you to take it one step at a time there, champ. Maybe if you didn't throw everything into one single box without bubble wrap, then you wouldn't have an issue of something breaking, Elijah," Leon responded. Elijah's eyes widened, as if he had just figured out the secrets of the universe. I laughed, turned around, and proceeded into the house. The floorboards creaked as I stepped onto the warped living room floor. I surveyed my surroundings of the old rustic home as I headed to Elijah's bedroom. Only 2 interior rooms had been renovated in the entire house.
Look at the house.
The kitchen, which had marble countertops and new appliances.
I love the kitchen, looking clean, on fleek, bro.
I was the one who found the home on the market, so respectively I had first choice of which room I wanted to claim as my own. The other rooms, on the other hand, were still the same as they had been since the early 1900s, with dreary wooden floorboards and old chipping paint. "Dude, what the hell?" William yelled from upstairs. I quickly climbed the narrow stairway to find my brother in his room. I walked in to find what looked like to be a large lump underneath the wooden floorboards.
What?
It almost looked like Andre the Giant was buried in the middle of the room. "I told you it was an old home, Will. Things shift over time," I said, trying to hold my snickering back. "Yeah, I get that, but you didn't say that I'd have to maneuver around a speed bump," he snapped back. I took a deep sigh and turned to him. "Okay, look man, we're only going to be here for a year. You've got plenty of room to put your bed so you're not sleeping on an incline." William turned back to the floor dejected. "That's easy for you to say. You're not staying on the cover of Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones." After we had moved everything into the house, we all plopped down on the couch, beers in hand, and began our well-deserved R&R. Elijah had already begun smoking, and the room started to fill with the pungent odor.
Come on, man.
So are we
Don't
gonna be
smoke
doing
in the
some
house.
ghost hunting tonight, boys? Elijah said as he passed the
It's not
joint to
good for your
Leon.
lungs, bro. You shouldn't be
Oh, come
smoking at
on.
all,
You don't actually
bro.
believe that crap, do you?
You're
Leon
smoking
responded
too?
as he was rolling his eyes.
Bro.
The guy blew his brains out on the front porch in the 1930s. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a ghost floating through the halls. I mean, how do you think we got such a killer deal on rent? William said as he lifted his arms and started mimicking the sounds of a specter. Shut up. It's all nonsense. You've just been watching too much Ghost Hunters, I responded. But anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. We need to get up early to do some cleaning.
Oh,
Night,
okay.
guys.
Okay.
I stood up and
I bet they
meandered
didn't
to my
even go to
room.
bed, bro. They stayed up
In all
all
reality,
night,
I was
bro.
a little perturbed by what happened at this house. I've always been quite agnostic to my beliefs of ghosts or spirits, but I've never witnessed anything myself.
Oh.
The rent was super cheap for an entire house, and I wanted to save some money for a trip outside of the country. I pushed the fact that someone had ended
Dang,
their
bro. Why
life
you
to the
just
back of my
throwing all
mind.
your clothes all
I
over the
wish things
place?
would have turned out much differently. I entered my room and slid under my sheets and basked in the warmth of my bed. It had been a long day and my body ached from moving. I grabbed my phone and looked for a rain and thunder YouTube video to help me sleep, and after about 15 minutes, I crept into comfortable darkness.
Okay.
My eyes shot open in the middle of the night. The moonlight shone through my window and enveloped my room with comforting light.
Bro, how many
I could hear
doors?
creaking from
You
the
have
house
3
as the
doors?
wind howled outside. I tried to sit up, but found my efforts futile. Sleep paralysis was a regular occurrence in my life. It happened at least once a month due to stress and a little help from my antidepressants. At this point, I'd almost gotten used to it. I could hear what sounded like a light scratching noise coming from inside my room, and prepared myself for the usual dark figure to be standing in the corner. My eyes darted from left to right, trying to decipher where the noise was coming from. It was then I started to hear skittering, like someone or something was moving around. A cold feeling crept over my body as I started sweating profusely. My
Dang.
sheets becoming
Bro,
soaked.
look at his armpits.
The skittering stopped, but was replaced by cracking, one that resembled that of broken bone.
Dang.
Out of my peripheral vision, I could see long, needle-like limbs protruding from my closet. They each moved slowly, tapping the
Oh
wall
my
as if they
God.
were looking for something.
How are you still alive?
I then saw a large, bulbous black mass starting to show itself from the closet door. It was coated in tiny hairs and twitched almost habitually. A loud moan echoed throughout my room as the creature finally presented itself. A spider-like entity was situated on my wall.
That's a spider?
The reason I say spider-like is because its head had been replaced with that of a human one. Its eyes were blacked out from the shadows of moonlight, and its lower jaw was removed, revealing a blotchy tongue that
Ew,
oozed
look
saliva.
at that, man.
It was about the size of a twin bed and stared at me for what seemed like hours. My heart was racing. I was begging my body to move, but to no avail. I was stuck there, in suspended torment. I tried screaming, but I
Was
was
this
unable
real?
to make
Is
a
this a
sound.
dream?
All I could do was watch the creature on my wall as it grew closer. Suddenly, it skittered to the ceiling right above me and started scratching with its 2 front legs, almost like it was burrowing.
Bro.
It then started to sink into the wall, as if the wall had turned into quicksand. First, the abdomen, then the legs.
Ew, look at that up
Eventually,
close.
all that was left was its mangled head staring straight at me. Those cold, dead eyes boring into my soul. I could hear it moaning, and I could feel the drips of saliva hit my torso.
So this is
Creature
real?
then let out an inhuman roar and vanished into my ceiling. My body was finally released, and I jolted out of my bed screaming. As I did, the house erupted into more terrified outcries coming from upstairs. Apparently, I wasn't the only one who saw something, and, unfortunately, it wouldn't be the last time either.
Wow. Wow. Oh my god, man. Dang.
Thanks to XP Pen for sponsoring this
So
video.
is he dead or not? I don't even know. I think he might be dead. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'll watch one more.
It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us. So
Okay.
everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could
Already
tell.
past spring break.
We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers. So our teacher in the middle of class just decided to start playing games with us on Sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher like that. As we were doing some brand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer too, Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got the chills, and I got goosebumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room. We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes, and then the usual buzzing that came from a panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious. A few more minutes of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared. As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you." It was at that moment that I started to fear for my life.
I'm actually kind of
My
scared
teacher
right now
shushed
for them.
us as we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door. And that's when one of the crying girls screamed no. The banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up." 2 of the girls in the class were crying out loud now. It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door. But eventually, he finally continued down the hallway, screaming like a mentally insane person until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and staff wasn't sure if the man was armed or not. Now this was before the school had cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening. The staff had done a sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked and to not let any students leave for any reasons.
Okay.
The most disturbing part, however, is that one of the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school. And according to rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. The janitor must have done something stupid to wake him up, for example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was ever found, but I like to think that right now, he's being given the proper help that he needs.
Dang, bro. Wow.
Whenever I catch here,
These are some scary stuff, bro. Like, this is actually real stuff. Like, it didn't happen, but this is actually real stuff. Oh my god. So, what had happened was, they went on lockdown And then this man, I don't even know if he was drunk on, he was a crackhead. He just came into the school, assaulted the person who was behind the desk, and then she ran out. And then all of a sudden he comes up, I think he like came up the stairs and be like, and he was banging on the lockers and be like, I will kill all of you. And then he started banging on their classroom and be like, open up. And then he just left. He started screaming and went down the hall. And then all of us, and then the person on the speaker explained the situation, and then the teachers resumed teaching, but they kept the doors locked because they don't know if the guy is still in the building or not. So one of the janitors went to one of the closet doors and they saw him sleeping, and they saw a gun in his hand. And then he did a stupid thing and left the door open. And when the police got there, he was gone. So that's it. We don't know if he's in jail. We don't know where he is. But we don't have to worry about that now. As long as he's not in my house or the school, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Ooh, hold on, guys. I gotta pause for a second. Okay, guys. If you guys want to see more videos, more Spooky Scary Sunday, guys, this was very good. I only watched 2 things, but this is a start. So if you guys want to see more videos, make sure you samurai slice that, subscribe, and join samurai. Until next time, my brothers and sisters.